Well, tonight to close out Pride Month, we continue our two-part series taking a look at the drag scene here on Delmarva.
And last night we introduced you to the queens, but now we want to share how far they say that we've come and where we need to go.
The art of drag, once seemingly kept hidden, is becoming more mainstream.
Now you can turn on the TV and see it there. I mean, RuPaul was on an Old Navy commercial, so I mean, it's pretty much everywhere.
With the help of shows like RuPaul's Drag Race, by seeing it more, society in turn seems to be accepting it more.
It's become normalized, which is, what you need to make people more comfortable with things.
But despite how normalized it may be, that doesn't mean that stereotypes developed years ago don't still exist.
I think the stigmas that were weird, or that were dirty or creepy, or we're the weird person in the corner that cross-dresses in the room.
Those in the business saying what they do is often thought as always being sexual.
Some assumptions are that it's some kind of fetish or sexualized situation, which it could be, but for most it's not.
Or that all men who dress in drag want to be women.
Just because I do drag does not mean I'm transgender. It does not mean that I want to be a woman. It does not mean that I'm transitioning to be a woman. Drag is an art form.
For Jeremy Bernstein, who grew up in Hebron and now performs in drag as Magnolia Applebottom, it's those misunderstandings that keep him from sharing his career with his extended family. As he says, it's just not something they talk about.
Maybe they just don't understand drag, and they don't understand the art behind it. And I think it might be just a little confusing for them or a little off-putting for them to actually have a conversation about.
Does that bother you though, not being able to share with
Oh yeah, it does.
Things?
Oh yeah, it does. It's something that I love, and I love my family, and I just want to be able to talk about it.
The reality is, a lot of the confusion comes from simply not knowing. And as the performers say, a lot could be cleared up if people just started asking questions and started conversations.
You're not getting to know the person, you're just seeing this thing that you don't understand, and so therefore you've turned it into everything bad.
Is that where the hate comes from, is just not knowing?
Hate is fear, and fear comes from not having knowledge.
That hate was evident in December of 2020, after Magnolia was the subject of a homophobic slur on social media after someone attended one of her shows. But the way the community responded showed just how far society has come, many embracing Jeremy and supporting him.
I still get emotional talking about it today because the amount of support that I have in this community means everything, and I didn't have it in high school and middle school, and the fact that I have it here 10, 12 years later, it's everything to me.
And it's instances like that and seeing society's growing acceptance of drag that leaves those who do it optimistic.
It has come so far that it just makes me so excited thinking about where drag can go.
Already, the scene has grown exponentially in Rehoboth, even over the last 20 years.
The way that people have started to flock to these shows, I mean, we're selling out, 2 and 3 nights and 4 nights a week, every week, even in the winter.
And while it's still not something common outside of parts of Sussex County, others are trying to grow the scene in places like Salisbury. Those like Dakota Whitlock saying they'll bring a show to whoever wants to host them.
I just need some venues to call me and say, we're ready. Now we're ready, come do a show. I've got a whole team of people prepared and ready to go. We just got to have the place to do it.
Because more shows means more opportunities for people of all ages to truly understand it.
So I have kids that want to do drag, and I was like, absolutely, you should try to do it. There's no age limit for doing it. And
they say that will help them continue to break the stigma.
Because if you really get to know people, you have a hard time hating them. That's just true.
And as we wrap up our series, we do want to again say a special thanks to the Blue Moon in Rehoboth and John Parks for helping us with this series.
Also, if you missed any part of our series, you can head over to our website to watch both parts in full.